A professional baseball player thought he was untouchable. 6 different girlfriends across the country, all of them thinking they were the one. But when girlfriend number 7 discovered his secret the night before their $40,000 wedding, he tried to destroy her reputation, called her crazy on social media, had his teammates attack her online, tried to ruin her life to save his career. Big mistake. Because what he didn't know was that one of his side chicks had 200,000 followers and she was about to expose everything. I'm talking career ended, endorsement deals gone, his lies exposed to millions of people. The most brutal public takedown you've ever seen. This man went from hero to zero in 24 hours, and it was all his own fault. You think you've seen revenge? You haven't seen anything yet. This story broke the internet, destroyed a career, and proved that karma is very real. Hit that subscribe button right now because you're about to witness the most savage revenge story ever posted on Reddit. This is about to get wild. Our story begins with a post that appeared on r/relationship_advice and later r/Tafo. That had the entire Reddit community absolutely stunned. The original poster, who we'll call Sarah, shared her story under the title, "Found out my fiancé cheated on me literally hours before our wedding. Need advice on how to handle this. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. I don't even know where to start. I'm sitting in my hotel room right now, still in my pajamas, while my wedding is supposed to start in 6 hours. My hands are literally shaking as I type this. My fiancé Jake, 28M, and I, 26F, have been together for 4 years. We met in college. He was the star pitcher for our university's baseball team, and I was studying journalism. He got drafted right after graduation by a major league team, and we've been doing long distance while I finish my master's degree. The plan was always that after we got married, I'd move to his city and we'd finally start our life together. Jake was everything I thought I wanted. Handsome, successful, charming, the kind of guy who lights up every room he walks into. Everyone loves him. My parents adore him. My friends always told me how lucky I was. I really thought I was. We've been planning this wedding for over a year. It's not huge, about 150 people, but it's at this beautiful venue, and we've put so much money and effort into making it perfect. Both our families flew in from different states. Some of his teammates came. My college friends are here. It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Then last night happened. Jake had his bachelor party 3 weeks ago, which should have been my first red flag. Who has a bachelor party 3 weeks before the wedding? But his team had a game last night about 2 hours away. They won, and he texted me around 10 p.m. saying the team was going out to celebrate and he'd see me at the altar. I thought it was sweet. He wanted our first time seeing each other on our wedding day to be when I walked down the aisle. I couldn't sleep last night because I was so excited and nervous, so around 2 a.m. I decided to check Instagram. I was looking through all the posts people had tagged us in, screenshotting the sweet messages, just generally being an excited bride-to-be. That's when I saw it. One of Jake's teammates' girlfriends had posted a story. It was just a quick video of the team celebrating at some bar. But in the background, clear as day, I could see Jake. And he wasn't alone. He was making out with some blonde girl. His hands were all over her. She was practically sitting on his lap. And this wasn't just a quick kiss. This was full-on, passionate, the kind of kiss you give someone you're about to take home. I watched that 15-second video about 50 times before it really sank in. My fiancé, less than 12 hours before our wedding, was cheating on me. I screenshotted the story immediately, but by the time I went back to look again, she deleted it. I don't think she realized Jake was in the background when she posted it. I haven't slept. I haven't eaten. I've just been sitting here staring at this screenshot, trying to figure out what to do. The logical part of me knows I should call off the wedding. But there are 150 people who traveled here. We've paid for everything. The venue, the catering, the photographer, the flowers, the band. We're talking about $40,000 that's just gone. My parents helped pay for this, and they don't have that kind of money to just throw away. And what if I'm wrong? What if it's not what it looked like? What if there's an explanation? But I know what I saw. And I know Jake. He's always been a flirt. Always been the kind of guy who attracts attention from women. I used to think it was cute how jealous other girls would get. Now I'm wondering how naive I've been. I tried calling him around 4 a.m., but it went straight to voicemail. I've texted him 3 times and nothing. Either his phone died or he turned it off. Or he's with her. I don't know what to do. Do I confront him when he shows up to get ready? Do I call off the wedding in front of everyone? Do I go through with it and deal with this later? I feel like my entire world just fell apart. Has anyone been through something like this? I need advice desperately. Jake travels a lot for baseball. He's always been very social, very much a people person. There were times when he'd come home from road trips and be weird about his phone. Protective of it, wouldn't leave it around like he used to. But I trusted him. I loved him. I thought he loved me. A few people have mentioned the timing of his bachelor party being weird. You're right. When I asked him about it, he said it was the only time his college friends could all get together. But now I'm wondering if something happened then too. I keep thinking about all the times he's been on the road this season. All the times he said he was too tired to FaceTime, or when he'd cut our calls short because the guys wanted to go out. Was he cheating this whole time? I feel so stupid. I've made a decision though. I can't go through with this. I can't marry someone who would do this to me, regardless of the money we'll lose or the embarrassment. I deserve better than this. Now I just have to figure out how to tell 150 people that there's no wedding today. The Reddit community was absolutely blown away by this post. It quickly gained thousands of upvotes and comments, with people sharing their own experiences and offering advice. But what happened next shocked everyone even more. Just 3 hours after her original post, Sarah updated with what happened when she finally confronted Jake. And Reddit, this is where the story gets truly unbelievable. Update. Found out my fiancé cheated on me literally hours before our wedding. I can't believe I'm updating this so soon, but so much has happened in the last few hours that I need to get it out. First, thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. Reading your messages gave me the strength to do what I needed to do. Jake finally showed up at the hotel around 9 a.m. to start getting ready. He looked like absolute hell. Hungover, still wearing the same clothes from last night, smelling like alcohol and perfume that definitely wasn't mine. I was waiting for him in his room. We got separate rooms for the night before the wedding. Thought it would be romantic. When he walked in and saw me sitting there with my phone in my hand, his face went completely white. "Sarah, what are you doing here?" "Aren't you supposed to be getting ready?" he said, trying to act normal. I held up my phone with the screenshot. "Want to explain this?" You guys, the look on his face. I've never seen someone's expression change so fast. He went from trying to act innocent to panic to anger in about 3 seconds. "Where did you get that? Who sent you that?" "Not this isn't what it looks like," or "I can explain." Just immediate damage control. That's when I knew for sure. "Does it matter? Is this you or not?" He sat down on the bed and put his head in his hands. For a minute I thought he was going to try to deny it, but then he just said, "Sarah, I'm so sorry." And that's when everything came out. It wasn't just last night. Jake has been cheating on me for over a year. Multiple women in multiple cities. He said it started during his rookie season when he was overwhelmed and needed an outlet. He said being away from me so much was hard and he made mistakes. Mistakes. Plural. The girl from last night? Her name is Ashley, and she's not even the first. She's been his road girlfriend for the past 6 months. She travels to his games. She stays in his hotel rooms. His teammates know about her. Their girlfriends know about her. Everyone knew except me. I asked him how many others there were, and he said he couldn't give me an exact number. A number, you guys. There's been so many that he can't count. I asked him why he was still going through with the wedding if he'd been cheating all this time, and his answer made me want to throw up. "Because I love you, Sarah. You're the one I want to marry. Those other girls don't mean anything." As if that made it better. As if I should be flattered that out of all the women he's been sleeping with, he chose me to be his wife. I asked him if he was planning to keep cheating after we got married, and he said he didn't know. He said he hoped marriage would change things and help him settle down. But he couldn't promise me it would stop. At least he was honest about that. I told him the wedding was off. I told him I never wanted to see him again. I told him he could figure out how to explain to 150 people why there was no bride. And you know what he said? "Sarah, please. Think about what you're doing. Think about all the money we've spent. Think about our families. Think about my career. If this gets out, it could ruin everything for me. His career. He was worried about his career. Not about losing me. Not about the fact that he destroyed what we had. His baseball career. I told him he should have thought about that before he decided to cheat on me with half the women in the National League. Then he got angry. Really angry. He started yelling about how I was being dramatic and unreasonable. He said all men cheat, especially professional athletes, and I was naive if I thought our marriage was going to be any different. He said I should be grateful that he was honest with me and willing to work on it. Grateful. He wanted me to be grateful. I left his room and came back to mine. It's now 11 a.m., and I need to start making phone calls. The wedding was supposed to start at 2 p.m. My maid of honor is here now, and she's helping me figure out what to do. She's been amazing. Didn't even seem surprised when I told her what happened. Apparently she never liked Jake, but didn't want to say anything because she knew I was happy. Or thought I was happy. We're calling the venue now to see if we can cancel. We'll probably lose most of the money, but I don't care anymore. I'd rather be broke than married to someone who thinks so little of me. The hardest part is going to be telling my parents. They flew in from Oregon, and they've been so excited about this wedding. My dad walked me around the venue yesterday talking about how proud he was and how happy Jake made me. I feel like I'm not just canceling a wedding. I'm destroying everyone's day. But I know I'm doing the right thing. I deserve better than this. I deserve someone who thinks I'm enough. Someone who doesn't need a different woman in every city to feel fulfilled. I just wish I'd figured it out sooner. Edit. We called the venue and they're being surprisingly understanding. The coordinator said this happens more often than people think. They can't refund our money, but they said we can use the space for a celebration of independence if we want. Some people have done that, basically turning their canceled wedding into a party. I don't think I'm ready for that, but it's nice to know the option is there. My parents are driving over now. I told them there was a situation, but not the details yet. I'm dreading this conversation. We called the venue, and they're being surprisingly understanding. The coordinator said this happens more often than people think. They can't refund our money, but they said we can use the space for a celebration of independence if we want. Some people have done that, basically turning their canceled wedding into a party. I don't think I'm ready for that, but it's nice to know the option is there. My parents are driving over now. I told them there was a situation, but not the details yet. I'm dreading this conversation. Jake has been texting me nonstop for the past hour. First he was apologizing, then he was angry, now he's back to apologizing and begging me to reconsider. He keeps saying he'll change, he'll quit baseball if he has to. He'll do anything to make this right. But the thing is, I don't believe him. And even if I did, I don't think I could ever trust him again. How do you come back from, I've been cheating on you with so many women I can't count them? I blocked his number. At this point, Reddit was completely captivated by Sarah's story. The post had tens of thousands of upvotes and hundreds of comments. People were praising her strength and sharing their own stories of betrayal. But what nobody expected was what happened next. Update 2. The aftermath of canceling my wedding is worse than I could have imagined. I honestly didn't think I'd be posting again so soon, but the last 24 hours have been absolutely insane and I need somewhere to vent because I feel like I'm losing my mind. First, the good news. Telling my parents went better than expected. My mom cried, but she said she was proud of me for standing up for myself. My dad was furious at Jake, but supportive of my decision. They've been amazing through all of this. We ended up having a small gathering at the hotel restaurant with my immediate family and closest friends, the people who were in town for the wedding. It wasn't the celebration I had planned, but it was actually really nice. My uncle gave a toast about how sometimes the best decisions are the hardest ones to make. But then things started going downhill fast. Jake, apparently, did not handle the cancellation well. Instead of quietly telling people the wedding was off and dealing with it like an adult, he decided to go nuclear. He posted on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, telling everyone that I had abandoned him on our wedding day because I was too insecure to handle dating a professional athlete. He said I was jealous and controlling and couldn't handle him having female friends. Female friends? That's what he called them. He made it sound like I called off our wedding because I saw him talking to a woman and flew into a jealous rage. No mention of the cheating. No mention of the fact that he admitted to sleeping with multiple women over the past year. His post got hundreds of comments from people saying what a bullet he dodged and how I was crazy for throwing away such a great guy. People who don't even know me were calling me names and saying I didn't deserve him. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that some of his teammates and their girlfriends started commenting, backing up his story. People who knew he was cheating, who knew about Ashley and all the others, were publicly supporting his version of events. One of his teammates' girlfriends even commented something like, I always knew she was too jealous and insecure for Jake. He deserves so much better. This is a girl who was at events where Jake was openly flirting with other women, who knew exactly what kind of person he was. And she was calling me the problem. It gets worse. Jake's agent apparently got involved and started doing damage control for Jake's image. They're spinning this whole thing as Jake being the victim of an unstable woman who couldn't handle the pressures of being with a professional athlete. I guess they're worried that the truth about his cheating could hurt his endorsement deals or something. My social media has been flooded with messages from strangers calling me everything from psycho to things I can't even repeat here. I've had to make all my accounts private, and I'm considering deleting them entirely. But here's the thing that's really getting to me. Some of our mutual friends are starting to believe his version of the story. People who've known me for years are asking me if I overreacted. People are asking if I'm sure about what I saw. People are suggesting that maybe we could work things out if I just tried to understand the pressures Jake was under. Even my own cousin asked me yesterday if I thought I might have been too hasty in calling off the wedding. I feel like I'm going crazy. I know what I saw. I know what he admitted to me. But Jake is so charming and convincing that he's managed to make people think I'm the villain in this story. And the thing is, I can't really defend myself without sharing that screenshot, which would mean dragging other people into this mess. The teammate's girlfriend who posted that story didn't mean for Jake to be in it. She was just sharing a fun night out. If I post it now, it could cause problems for her and her boyfriend. So I'm stuck. I can either stay quiet and let people think I'm crazy, or I can prove I'm right but potentially ruin other people's relationships in the process. Meanwhile, Jake is playing the part of the heartbroken victim perfectly. He's been posting sad quotes about toxic relationships and learning to trust again. He's been getting sympathy messages from fans and even some celebrities who follow him. Yesterday, a local news station even picked up the story. They ran a segment about how professional athletes face unique challenges in relationships and how their partners need to be understanding of the pressures they're under. They used Jake as an example of an athlete who was let down by someone who couldn't handle his lifestyle. I wanted to throw my TV out the window. The absolute worst part of all this is that I'm starting to doubt myself. I keep looking at that screenshot and wondering if maybe I did overreact. Maybe I should have talked to him first before assuming the worst. Maybe I should have given him a chance to explain. But then I remember what he told me. I remember him saying he couldn't count how many women he'd been with. I remember him asking me to be grateful that he was honest with me. And I know I did the right thing. But knowing you're right and feeling confident about being right are two different things, especially when everyone around you is telling you that you're wrong. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm 26 years old. I just canceled my wedding. I'm probably going to have to move back in with my parents, and half the people I know think I'm crazy. Has anyone else been through something like this? Where you know you're right, but everyone else thinks you're wrong? How do you handle it? Thank you to everyone who's been commenting and messaging me with support. It means more than you know. Some people have suggested I just post the screenshot and let the chips fall where they may, but I keep going back and forth on it. I did reach out to the girl who originally posted the story to Instagram. I found her through her boyfriend's account and sent her a message explaining what happened. I didn't ask her to do anything. I just wanted her to know how her post had affected my life. She wrote back within an hour and was absolutely horrified. She said she had no idea Jake was engaged, let alone getting married the next day. She said she knew he was a player but didn't realize he was that bad. She offered to make a public statement about what she saw that night, but I told her I didn't want to drag her into this mess. She's got her own life and relationship to worry about. But it did make me feel better to know that at least one person believes me. Jake's been trying to contact me through mutual friends since I blocked his number. He's apparently telling people he wants to work things out and that he's learned his lesson. One of his teammates' wives called me today and said Jake has been really torn up about everything and that maybe I should give him another chance. She said he's just a young guy who made some mistakes and that all relationships have bumps. Bumps. She called systematic cheating over the course of a year bumps. I told her that if she thought cheating with multiple women was just a bump, then she might want to take a closer look at her own marriage. She didn't like that. The Reddit community was absolutely outraged by this update. Comments poured in supporting Sarah and condemning Jake's manipulative behavior. But what happened next would change everything and finally give Sarah the vindication she deserved. So this is probably going to be my final update on this whole saga, and honestly, I couldn't have written a better ending if I tried. For those who haven't been following my story, my ex-fiancé Jake cheated on me with multiple women throughout our relationship. I found out the night before our wedding, called it off, and he's been trying to make me look like the crazy one ever since. Well, karma is real, you guys, and she's got a hell of a sense of timing. Yesterday was supposed to be our 1-week anniversary. Instead, I was at home trying to figure out how to rebuild my life when my phone started blowing up with calls and texts. Remember Ashley, Jake's road girlfriend that he'd been seeing for 6 months? Well, apparently Ashley had no idea about me either. That's right. Jake had been lying to both of us. Ashley thought she was Jake's only girlfriend. He'd been telling her that he was single and that she was the only woman in his life. When she found out about our canceled wedding through social media, she was just as shocked and hurt as I was. But Ashley is not the kind of woman who takes betrayal lying down. Ashley is a social media influencer with about 200,000 followers across platforms. And yesterday, she decided to tell her story. She posted a series of Instagram stories, which I've screenshotted in case she deletes them, detailing her entire relationship with Jake. Photos of them together in different cities. Screenshots of text messages where he's telling her he loves her and wants to be with her. Hotel receipts, plane tickets, everything. She posted photos of gifts he bought her, jewelry, clothes, expensive dinners. She posted screenshots of him telling her that he'd never felt this way about anyone before and that she was the one. But the absolute best part was when she posted a video. A video that Jake apparently sent her a few weeks ago when he was drunk. In this video, he's bragging about how he's got the best of both worlds, a sweet, naive girlfriend back home who doesn't ask questions and a fun, adventurous woman on the road who knows how to have a good time. He literally called me naive on video while bragging about cheating on me. In the same video, he talks about how easy it is to manipulate me because I trust him completely and how I'll believe anything he tells me. He laughs about how he's been cheating since his rookie year and I've never suspected anything. Ashley captioned the video, "This is what a Jake Mitchell baseball really thinks about women. He's not the victim here, we are." Within hours, the video had been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. People started sharing it everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. It went completely viral. Suddenly, Jake's narrative about being the victim of a crazy, jealous girlfriend completely fell apart. Everyone could see exactly what kind of person he really was. The comments on his social media posts from a week ago started changing. People were calling him out, sharing the video, demanding explanations. His mentions were flooded with angry messages from women calling him disgusting and pathetic. But it gets even better. Other women started coming forward. Apparently, Ashley wasn't the only side girlfriend. Over the past 24 hours, at least 6 other women have shared their stories about being in relationships with Jake. Some of them posted photos and screenshots, too. One woman said she'd been seeing him for 8 months, and he'd promised to introduce her to his family. Another said he'd been flying her to his games for an entire season. Another said he'd been telling her he was planning to propose. All of them thought they were his only girlfriend. All of them were being lied to, just like I was. The baseball team released a statement this morning saying they were investigating the situation and that Jake's behavior does not reflect the values of the organization. Word is that they're considering trading him or releasing him entirely. His major endorsement deal got pulled. The sports drink company that was paying him six figures a year to be their spokesperson announced that they were ending their partnership effective immediately. And the best part? Remember that news station that ran a story about how I was the problem? They ran a follow-up piece this morning with the headline "Local Baseball Player's Web of Lies Exposed After Canceled Wedding." They interviewed a relationship expert who talked about how Jake's behavior was a textbook example of manipulation and emotional abuse. They actually apologized for their previous coverage and said they should have investigated the story more thoroughly before running it. Hat ship has sailed. My phone has been ringing all day with people apologizing. Friends who questioned my decision are now saying they're sorry they doubted me. Family members who thought I might have overreacted are telling me how proud they are that I stood up for myself. Even some of Jake's teammates' wives have reached out to apologize for their comments and to tell me they had no idea how bad things really were. As for Jake himself, he's been radio silent on social media since yesterday. Someone said they saw him at the airport with suitcases, so he might be leaving town. I almost feel bad for him. Almost. But then I remember how he tried to destroy my reputation to save his own. How he made me question my own sanity. How he had the audacity to ask me to be grateful for his honesty while he was lying to multiple women. The funniest part of all this is that if he had just been honest from the beginning, if he had just admitted what he did and taken responsibility for it, this probably would have blown over in a few weeks. People cheat, relationships end, life goes on. But by trying to make me the villain, by lying about what happened and manipulating the narrative, he made it so much worse for himself. And now, everyone knows exactly what kind of person Jake Mitchell really is. I'm not going to lie. This whole experience has been traumatic. Finding out that someone you love and trust has been systematically lying to you and cheating on you is devastating. Having people question your version of reality is even worse. But I'm grateful it happened before the wedding instead of after. I'm grateful I found out who he really was before I legally tied myself to him. And I'm grateful that the truth came out in such a spectacular way that no one can ever question what really happened. I'm also grateful for all of you on Reddit who supported me through this. Your comments and messages gave me the strength to stick to my guns when everyone else was telling me I was wrong. As for what's next, I'm moving back to my hometown for a while to figure out my next steps. I'm thinking about maybe writing a book about this whole experience. Apparently there's a market for how I dodged a bullet memoirs. And who knows, maybe I'll find someone who actually knows how to be faithful. Someone who thinks I'm enough all by myself. But for now, I'm just enjoying watching Karma do her thing. And she's doing it beautifully. Someone asked if I've heard from Jake directly since all this came out. The answer is yes, but not in the way you'd expect. He sent me a message through his lawyer this morning asking me to sign a non-disclosure agreement in exchange for money. Apparently he's worried I'm going to write that book I mentioned or do interviews about what happened. I told the lawyer where Jake could shove his NDA. I'm not planning to profit off this story, but I'm also not going to be silenced by the man who tried to ruin my life to save his own reputation. The truth is already out there anyway. That ship has sailed. I've gotten a lot of messages asking about Ashley and whether we've talked. We actually did connect yesterday after everything blew up. She's a really cool person, and we both realized we were victims of the same manipulation. We're not going to be best friends or anything, but there's no animosity between us. We were both lied to by the same pathetic excuse for a man. She said she's planning to be more careful about who she trusts in the future. I told her I'm planning the same thing. It's weird how someone can lie to multiple people so effectively. Jake is clearly a sociopath. The level of manipulation and deception required to maintain relationships with that many women, while making each of us think we were special, is honestly impressive in the most disturbing way possible. But the good news is that now we all know the truth, and we can all move on with our lives while Jake deals with the consequences of his actions. Sometimes the trash really does take itself out. And that, folks, is where Sarah's incredible story ends, at least for now. Jake's lies were exposed in the most spectacular way possible. His career is in shambles, and Sarah dodged the biggest bullet of her life. This story teaches us so many important lessons. First, trust your instincts. Sarah knew something was wrong, and despite everyone trying to convince her otherwise, she stuck to her guns. Second, the truth always comes out eventually. Jake thought he could manipulate the narrative and make Sarah look like the villain, but his web of lies was too big to maintain forever. Most importantly, this story shows us that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you turns out to be the best thing that could have happened. Sarah could have married Jake and spent years being cheated on and gaslit. Instead, she found out who he really was before it was too late. We don't know what Sarah is up to now, but we hope she's living her best life and has found someone who treats her with the respect and loyalty she deserves. What do you think about this story? Have you ever been in a situation where you had to trust your instincts even when everyone else was telling you were wrong? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. We've got more incredible Reddit stories coming your way every single day. Until next time, remember, sometimes the trash really does take itself out.